Hello, everyone. It's your friend Kenneth Obayuana. I'm so excited. I'm coming again. We've I've long looked forward to these lives, and I'm happy today. I'm able to finally come live to share some of this deep secret with you guys. I'm really happy to do this. Um, you can see I'm fully prepared for the session with my notepad with me, ready to dish out some rare information that you can't get anywhere. I guarantee you, stuff I'll be sharing today are not Googleable, are not stuff you've seen anywhere or heard anywhere. I'm happy to be doing this today. I'm really excited. So in today's session, I really want to discuss how does investors make money agri from agri business. You know, I've done farming. I've done farming, right? I've done farming. I've done a whole lot around agriculture. So my first experience into the agri world was um I think my first entrance into agriculture was working in a farm. So I first started as a worker. That was in 2014. Right. So I first started as a worker. I worked in a farm called Ujema. At the time, that was the second or third largest farm in Nigeria. But the farm is not existing again today. I don't know. As at the last time I checked, as at the last time, the farm was shaking. They were about to fold up. I think they'll fold up anyway, but that could be verified. So they process chickens. They have what's it called? They have farms like crops, like pineapple. It was a very massive farm in Benin City then. But I worked in the chicken processing unit. So that's when I first saw uh value additions to agriculture was very important. But I'm not talking about value additions today. No. And then when I moved from there, I went to do some work in Lagos, came back to study in Benson. That's a university. So when I go into BIU, so long story cut short, they don't cook. I needed to survive, you know. So I was studying agriculture. I was studying agriculture. So then I first did agronomy, but I later transferred from agronomy to agricultural economics and extension services. So I graduated as an agricultural economist and extension services. Then in BIU, I ventured into, so I first did like a boutique business. So I raised some capital because agriculture is very capital intensive. I raised some capital, and then I started my agri business. So my first one was catfish. So I haven't done work in the German farm, not schooling. So I went to school management, the school bound was MC. I went to them and they gave me, I mean, schooling in BI was also helpful because there you gave me my first business. Before I go get into BI, I've read all those business books, all those rich dad and poor dad. I've read everything about Kiyosika. In fact, before I gain admission to BIU, I've already been advising people on strategies to go into business because I was reading business books, but I've not really practiced it. So I was not really teaching from practically, right? So BI was the first entrance into business because they first gave me my first shop where I set up my boutique business. I started selling just to raise some funds anyway. Kudos to every one of them who played the key role there. It was Mr. Samata then. I also honestly speaking, guys, I also as a student. I remember knocking every door. I remember saying, I want to spray, I want to get this contract from school. I was just hustling. So that's how I found that job. Like I wanted to be selling in the hostels because I didn't have money. We didn't really have money. Right. I wanted to be selling in the hostels to be able to raise funds. So anyway, long story short. They gave me that shop and it was free. As I had boutique business, so what I saved there, I saw this coupon was empty. I wrote to them and they gave me um and they gave me my and they granted me to use this coupon. So I invested it. Then before I ventured to catfish, I was told catfish business is there was this word blood money. I was told that catfish business, the money there is blood money. So every day I will go to my phone like, hi, I was good. I will blow it. I was going to sell. So I read my catfish. That was going to mixes. Actually, even I was into mixes. It was my mentor, who is a bishop in the church, Bishop Jason Brown. Kudos, kudos. I mean, I learned a lot from Bishop Jason Brown. So Bishop Jason Brown was the one that so Bishop Dixon, he was the one that came, visited the farm and said, "Guy, you've made a lot of mistake. Sell off." He was one that even connected me to a buyer, and yeah, the day came to I sold. I almost had BP on that day. Do you know why, guys? They'll pull one fish to not press the weight. No, catfish you sell by weight. You put two fish, three, four, five. Some were five weighing 1 kg, six weighing 1 kg. So I didn't feed them enough. I didn't have enough capacity to feed them enough. I didn't know that the more you feed them, the more they eat, the more they have more weight. And the feeding was very, very capital intensive. So I started making losses. Then I remember that um, I met some a few weeks back that talked about processing. So I said I won't sell some of the prawns. I was going to smoke them, package them. So I really smoked them, packaged them, and I started selling jack catfish. So I felt like I was making money too. Bishop Feb did some advert for me. We really pushed hard at the time. It was really interesting. So why am I sharing this story? I've moved from farming. I farmed like farmer. I'm a pure farmer. I farm catfish, but that's the only animal product I have done. I don't like animal farming. I like more crop farming. So from there, I've added value processing, right? And then I moved on from there in 2018. That was like maybe 400 level now, about to leave school. There was a program called Jam Summit, hosted by Christian Fellowship International, like the campus fellowship of travel coordination. That year they were hosting that conference, and they put me in charge of vendors management. I was going to manage the vendors. So I started sourcing for vendors, reached out to a lot of vendors in this town. I reached out to vendors in my school, because my school we don't cook. It was a private university, Best University, so we don't cook. So a lot of the vendors came on the day. I was able to build relationships to several vendors in Benin City at the time via that event. So after the event, everybody have gone back to their previous station. So one day I had a good relationship with the vendors in BI, but it was not because they've done business with me. I mean, because of that event that they came to sell, became friends after the event. So one day I was just sitting and we are just gisting at the cafeteria. And one guy just brought in, if any BI student is listening to this, they might just know some of their names because I feel like calling names. Actually, I think he's actually Bala. He just bought him plantain. And everybody, give me. I'm like, why are you guys begging for plantain? They say, to say plantain, no, it's you. Like, at the time, I've convinced my dad brother to give me his land to farm. So I had plantain, I had pineapple, I had cassava, I have watermelon, I had maize on the farm. Um, but some of the land belongs to my uncle too at the time. So we had all those things. But they were not ready at that time. And I, why you guys picking this guy? I have plantain. I can supply you guys plantain. And they said, oh, really? I said, yes. And then I I bought in my I went to Okada to start buying plantain because mine was not ready at the time. I started buying plantain from Okada to sell in Benin. So it looked like I was making money. Oh, we're making money. I mean, I love that one more than the boutique. I love that one more than the catfish because plantain, I'll just bring plantain from Okada. All of them, before I will go to the village, all of them have agreed. I mean, are you buying, this one will say 2 dozen, 3 dozen, 4 dozen. I'll go to the village, buy all of them. I'll supply. And they'll give my money cash. And they all like boutique that sent to say, please, now my guy, I'll see you for step. This one, they don't see me. Even though you want to see me, you can say in 2 days' time, in 3 days' time. And when I show up, you pay me my money. So I really made money from the plantain. And then the message, some of them are like where they used to buy from before in the market, like, yeah, madam, you're not going to buy from me again. I want to buy, you can supply me now. One of the students from village. So they gave my contact to some of the people in the main market. I started supplying those people. And then from there, my market go from the school to start supplying me market people, market women. And from there, I was talking about it on social media. I moved on from just supplying market people. I started supplying um I started supplying Lagos. I was supplying Lagos, supplying Benin, and then I was talking about it. I moved on from there. I graduated and handed over that business to somebody who continued it after I left. And then I moved to um start a greenhouse farm. I own a greenhouse farm at the time in Benin. So in my greenhouse farm, I have tomatoes, bell pepper, habaneros pepper. I did in the open field. I did cucumber, watermelon. I did sweet corn. I did butternut squash. I mean, all these things are on my Facebook page. You can on my Instagram. You can go check them out. I did a lot of those things, and I won a couple of awards, won a couple of grants. So when I talked about farming, that I understand the extent, I've moved around the space. So I've done the farming part. And mind you, when my cassava in my dad brother's land, the day we sold, I realized that we were making losses as well. So one basin or one bag of rice of cassava was 1.5 at the time. So I just figured out, instead of selling this thing, let me go and process it. So I processed my cassava into what we call odorless fufu. It was fufu, but it was odorless. Well packaged. I feel like showing you guys some of all these pictures. Ah, I don't know uh how do I pull up? I feel like showing some of my products so you guys can see that I've moved around this sector. I'm not just talking about stories. So I've farmed, farm from BIU, right? I've done farm from That's University, catfish. I've done cassava. I've add value addition of processing to my dry catfish. I've added value to my cassava. And then I moved on to greenhouse farm. I've done greenhouse farm. In fact, the greenhouse farm I did, I won't call him. One of so in my greenhouse farm, I moved on pretty much, and then I started setting up farms. So what I do, like, I moved to a consulting firm. So what I was doing was, you own your land, you own the money. My own is to set up I set up the land, set up the farm on your land, and manage it for you. I recruit for you, manage it for you via my staff that I recruited for you, and then I I'll take for you because I have markets for vegetables. So I was supplying bananas for market, ShopRite, and I was on shopping mall in Port Harcourt, Benin, Lagos. So I was doing well, but I could never meet up to the market. So I was like, okay, I have a consulting firm, and people say, oh, come and set up for me. I'll set up for them, manage for them. I set up over 200 farms, greenhouse farms. I almost died because that one, today I'm in Ogun State, tomorrow I'm in Oshun, next tomorrow I can be in Ogun State this night. Tomorrow morning I'm waking up in Ibadan because I'll take a night bus. I almost died. Right. So I've moved across the layers of agriculture. I've gone into processing, I've gone into agro commodity, supplying of those. So agro commodities when you supply products. So I've gone through it all. So I can categorically tell you where the money is in agriculture. So I haven't gone through all these phases. I haven't mastered all these things in the agricultural space. Um, I was always asking myself, where is this money in agriculture? Where is this money? I need to make money in agriculture. I don't want to just farm. And then John Obidi one day said a statement. He said, the father, so if you follow John Obidi, you must have heard that conversation, that the father you are from, the farther you are from agriculture, the more money you make. And that's facts. That's facts. Farmers are the most, in the entire valuations of agriculture, the most poorest point in valuations are farmers. Honestly speaking, farmers are the most poorest people in the entire valuations. The aggregators make more money. The guy adding values or processor make more money. The guy who owns a storage facilities make more money. So you have people make more money than farmers. And yet farmers are the one that had more, that do most of the hard work. Yeah, and it's the general irony of life. I don't think it's just agriculture industry alone, even in real estate. In real estate, the bricklayers, they do the most of the work. The bricklayers, the bricklayers, the who else is there? The bricklayers, the block molders, whoever those Those guys look like they are the one really doing the work, right? They are like the one in the field, like just like farmers. But we see they are still the most poorest. The manager is in the office is richer than them. Who got the entire contract is richer than them. The what's it called? The farmer is richer than them. The the farmers is richer than them. The the manager is richer than them. The architect is richer than them. The engineer is richer than them. But they look like the one doing the most, and I think it's cut across on all industries. I just talked about agriculture. I talked about the real estate space. It's cut across industry. These guys they look like they're the ones who are making move, who are the pillars. But really, they're the ones that taking the peanut out of it. Right. So that really got me start thinking that where is really the money in the agricultural space? Where is really the money in this space? Well, earlier last year, I began to look for where was the money. And guess what first happened? I didn't just start looking for where was the money in agriculture. I moved, I shifted from where was the money to investment. So I started taking some courses around the investment space, and I wanted to go like build my portfolios around investments, to learn more about the investment space because I've been in the cultural space for like 15 years. I mean, I've made some good money from my cultural space. I've done some pretty good stuff around the cultural space. I've got to give me the opportunity to travel to so many countries. I've taken me to a global level. I've played around the cultural policy space. I've really done some really good stuff around it. And I make some money out of it. I want to learn how to invest the things I've made. And then in that space of that learning those things, it brought me back to agriculture. And I begin to see how investors what they think about the space of agriculture. So what I'm teaching today, hmm, what you first need to do, I think in my post I talked about that if you want to make money, I said something on my first copyright. I said these guys don't call themselves farmers. Yes, they call themselves investors. So what I'm teaching you today is not about farming, it's about how to invest in the space. So first of all, you need to stop seeing yourself as a farmer. So if you are here, you are listening to me, and you're watching this video at any point, and you like, oh, I love agriculture. Investors are like, okay, what do I invest in? So they learn about the agricultural space, they learn about the cryptocurrency space, they learn about the real estate space, they learn about gold. I mean, they learn about pretty much different things. And then, okay, this is the one I want to go into, this is one I want to invest in, and then they pick a sector. And so that's what happened to me. So even me, I took a lot of courses, I took a lot of trainings. I'm really diversifying my portfolio. But in that, I was just learning about those industries, and it brought me back to agriculture. And I begin to see how the investors think about this space, what they think about the space, what they invest their money into. So that's what I'll be teaching you today. So when I said what I'm going to teach you is not on go. What I was going to teach you is not on go. You've never heard it before. I was not bluffing. I was not bluffing. They were real facts. You've never heard them before. It's so painful that my camera had some issues, so I'm using my phone. I could not use my laptop, so I've really arranged some few things that I wanted to project to you guys today. So you have a feeling of what I'm really teaching you guys to be able to see pictures to it. All right. Um. So now, how to invest in architect business as an investor. Remember, you're an investor. So, first of all, so as an investor, what happened? What does investors think? Investors think about it. One of the course I took, he said something. He said, as an investor, hmm, you don't think of you're not part of the business. Hi, this one it's tough to explain to you guys. So if you want to invest in money, if you want to go into the investment space or you want to understand the investment space, most times you don't. It's not what you you're not involved in it. Yeah. So whatever you're involved in. So there was one of my course I took last year or earlier this year. He said when the lecturer was saying if you are investing into it, you putting your money into it, but you don't take part in it. So, for example, let's say I'm buying a share from a company. I'm invest. That's me investing in that company. So I'm not getting. I'm not getting. I'm not getting. I'm not going to be involved in the day-to-day activities of that business. These are the investors think. So they put in, well, I've made some cash from my, so for me, like talk about my own self. So I made some cash from agriculture, or you made some cash from whatever industry. I could be real estate or hospitality, you made some money, and now some of the money you've made, you don't want to just save it. You want that money to make more returns for you. That's how investors think. So you're like, okay, where do I invest in? Right. So okay, let me put this investment in real estate. So you can go buy some properties, you can go buy some stuff, right? Or let me put it into cryptocurrency. But in this case today, I'm teaching you how do you put that money, how do you invest it into agri-tech space. That's what I'm teaching you today. How do you put into agri-tech space? That's what I'm teaching you today. How do you put into agri-tech space? Is what I'm teaching you today. So there are a lot of ways. Some people have burned their hand in card funding. So I don't teach card funding. I don't even believe in card funding. I'm so sorry because card funding is good. It's really good. Don't get it. Don't. But the person needs to whoever doing it. It's needs to have a needs to understand the industry pretty well. So I'm not going to dwell on that one. But some people, yeah, when you take some investment courses, they'll tell you card funding, like people coming together. I mean, and the only way I would like, I don't know how to even explain card funding, but I'm not going to dwell on card funding as it's really high risk and large non-regulated. So I don't encourage it at all. You are merely you are at the mercy of the middleman. So you're at the mercy of the middleman. The insurance is in the name of the third party and does not cover the bad management. So if things got bad, so I really don't encourage card funding. However, so card funding is like how do you, is like one of the ways people have over time invested in agri-tech space, but most times most of the card funding I've seen they burnt their hand. They they burnt their hand. Anyways, the other one is called project finance. So I've talked about card funding, but I don't encourage it because it's the risk there is too high and it's largely regulated. But the next one is project finance. In project finance, in project finance, it's specialized. It's like a specialized. It's like a specialized. It's a specialized sector. I'm going to give you an example. It require extensive due diligence and release of fund is tied to KPIs. All right, but fiscal inspection is mandatory. It has a special vehicle called SPV, and also has a point, and most times also have like a CFO. So I'll give you a case. One of the cases, um, there's a cassava project processing center in Kogi. That's like a project so the guy, I know the guy owns that project. Then that was the guy that encouraged me to go into cassava. Then so he was processing into stash. So he had a market. He used to sell. He was a supply chain manager at Nestle, where he used to source for stash and get the stash out, and for them to do their industry whatever they were processing into. But he noticed that there were not enough. So he saw the gap, and then he went to set up a processing factory. So he went to so that was like a project finance. There was a gap they were trying to cover and all that. So I think he was the CFO because normally it has a specialized it has a specialized um vehicle it has like a specialized vehicle called SPV, and CFO, chief financial officer, is always involved. And there's like a physical inspection center where you can go there. So you can have like so project finance is like having a specific project that you want to execute. Like this one I gave that they're going to set up a processing unit that where they process cassava from into stash and set to big guys in the industry. I know people who invested in that project and they got the cash out. This one is for big guys because to set up that project was massive. It's still on it now in Kogi. I've forgotten the name now. I've forgotten the name. We still on him. I know guys who put funds into that project finance and they didn't regret it at all. Then you get started because the market was ready, everything was ready. They put their money at the expected time, they cut the cash out, and it's still existing till now. But I think that guy have exited the company, but still existing. A great guy. Then the next one is cooperative. Look for a cooperative and join a cooperative. It reduces the cost of your due diligence and management. Join a reputable cooperative. Emphasis on reputable, right? Join a very, very reputable cooperative that is focused on agriculture. And when you belong to a cooperative, you are not on your own because look for an agricultural cooperative because you guys when they invest together, they come together, put in their money and invest in they could invest in agro commodity. So I know of then I know of a cooperative who used to invest in a lot of different agro commodity. They could go and buy store and then doing when the stuff is in high demand, they bring it out and start selling it. There are a lot of cooperatives that runs agro commodity. So instead of you running your own agro commodity on yourself, you don't run it yourself. And this one, you still keep doing what you're normally doing. So you're always part of the cooperative, you put in your money and then they give you your return on investment. So because cooperative, that's what they do. They give you return on it. They give you your dividends, sorry, not return on investment. They give you dividends. And that's really good. Um, so I've talked about cooperative. The next is food commodity. I'm going to dwell on this place. In the food commodity, the way we used to do agriculture before now was that, oh, like the way I used to do, I went to buy plantain from Okada. I started bringing to these people. I've done palm oil too. I'll buy palm oil, I'll keep it. After some the seasons, when it's nine, I demand, I'll go and bring it out. I'll store it. I'll buy a lot of palm oil, store it, and bring it out. Those are commodity that you trade. You're not the direct farmers. When you're, so some people call it the middleman, aggregators who go to different farms, buy all the produce, and take it to the farm and sell. That's what a lot of us have been doing, which is not bad at all. But remember, I've told you, investor, they're not involved in it. They like buying the shares from the company. So that's why in that course I took, they said real estate is not even an investment. A lot of this investment. A lot of us see because if real estate is like what I would disagree with the lecturer will be real estate is an investment. Depending on how you play on it. Some people they're not fully involved in it. So because then my lecturer said something, he said once I are fully involved in it, that means it's not kind of investment because it's an investment. You're supposed to put in your money and keep doing what you're doing that generate that money for you. Why this money keep working for you to bring more either return on investment for you or dividends for you. But once you're taking part, you are going there every day. It's not a business, according to that my lecturer, allegedly. Right. So in food commodity, based on that definition of that my lecturer, in food commodity, if you do it the way we used to do it, then it's not a business for you. It's no longer an investment. So in today's class, what I'm going to be teaching you, which is like my key point for today, and I've talked about project finance, why you put in your money and somebody will manage it the project for you and you get your dividends back or your return on investment or cooperatives get your return on investment or crowdfunding. I told you crowdfunding is too run from crowdfunding. I don't encourage it. Crowdfunding is like the percent of your money coming back is too slim. It's too risky. Because it's largely unregulated. I don't encourage it. But this food commodity, it's like you doing trading. You know how you trade? How you trade on the stock market? That's it, guys. That's it. How you trade on the stock market is how you trade on this platform. So there are some agricultural platforms. Instead of you trading on stock market, there are some agricultural platforms right now that you can trade. But what you trade this time is food. It's better because you know what? These are like commodity exchange platforms or commodity exchanges are regulated. They are highly regulated, but they require trading skills. You need to learn how to trade. So if you are here, you are listening to me, and you know how to trade on stock markets, you know how to trade on forex. Me, I don't do forex. I don't do all those things. I don't know them. But if you know how to trade there, then this one is for you. What I'm sharing today is for you. There are platforms where instead of you trading on agro commodity, instead of you trading on agriculture this time, So instead of you trading on stock market or trading on forex, this is more predictable. This is more better. Go and trade on these platforms that I will be calling. All you just require, because one of them, they are highly regulated and they require, all you just need is trading skills. And you can learn some of all these trading skills. Oh, you can learn some of all these basic trading skills. I think maybe I'll call some platforms where you can go learn some of all these trading skills, right? Like you just do them like you're playing game. You can go learn it. Yeah. Africa has a predictable seasons and demands. Listen to see guys, listen to this one. This is the point. I don't want you guys to miss it. This is the point. All right. This is the point I don't want you guys to miss. If you are listening, wherever person you are listening to, pay attention to what I'm sharing now. Commodity. Africa has a predictable season. So especially if you are in Africa, Africa has a predictable seasons and they have demand and supply cycles. We all understand our seasons. That's the uniqueness of why farmers in Africa are blessed. We know when to plant corn and when to come when to harvest it. You can predict it. You know the seasons. We have demand and supply cycles in our agriculture. So these guys, these platforms, they understand these things, and based on those things, they used to they trade on it. So I think something you can trade maize on those platforms. I think you can trade LP, you can trade rice, and they are safer. They are safer, guys. Hey, I don't know, but of course, some countries that I think you should also focus on. Nigeria, number one. Two, Kenya. These guys has a commodity exchange platforms, and they are highly regulated. If you cannot trade, do not worry. See, if you cannot trade, or you don't want to trade, they have commercial papers. I'm going to so I'll call one of the platform in Nigeria is AFS. AFS. I know AFS very well. You can trade on AFS. Hmm? You can trade very well on AFS. You can trade maize. You can trade you can trade maize. You can trade I think cowpea. You can trade rice. I mean, just go on their platform AFS, and you can see how to trade on the platforms. But these times you are not trading forex. You are trading food, and those your trade. Why AFS is like the platform where you are trading. Hmm? The farmers, they I think FS get to buy, store it, do the market and supply and everything. I don't know how that back can now really work. Right? Maybe in other class we'll bring somebody from AFS and say, guys, so look, we've talked about you guys, so our guys are interested. I do, and maybe have a session with them. Right. We'll look into doing something like that. But these are some pretty good way, trusted source to make money. Just go. See, guys, after this session, go on AFS. Spend your time. Go on AFS. Go and check it out. Check out their plan. See, what I'm doing today, AFS is not even aware. It's not like I'm not doing marketing for AFS at all. But AFS is one of the platforms I know, and they've been existing for like 10 years. Highly regulated. Why not trade on their platform? You keep doing what you're doing. You keep doing your business. You keep doing your agriculture. You keep doing your what's it called, you keep doing your real estate, you keep doing your hospitality, you keep doing whatever you're doing. Remember, I've told you, as an investor, you don't need to be involved. That's what makes you an investor. What's involved is your money, but once I'm involved, according to my lecturer, we are going to take some classes on investment. He said once you're involved, it's not like an investment, it's not a business. So he said real estate is not an investment because you are involved. But if you are not involved, because I mean, that's why I said, depending on how you involved in your work around real estate. Yeah, some people disagree. I mean, the class is always, so I don't want my class to be scattered. Like, hey, why would you say real estate is not an investment? Is it an investment? Why would you say it's not an investment? It's an investment. Why would you say it's not an investment? So, well, let's leave that one. AFS, guys. Go on AFS. Go and be trading on AFS. There are platforms where you can learn how to trade, because all you need to trade on AFS, I think, is the trading skills. And I know there are some platforms like games you can use to learn how to, how to trade them. Yeah, I don't know if I have some of those platforms names now. I think it's I'm trying to see the platforms, the names of the platforms get trained journey. Um I've forgotten the names, but I know there are some platforms that you can learn how to trade, sure. I think is it called I can't recall. I can't recall, but it's pretty much easy to do these things. Just go on FS. FS is the one I know of in Nigeria. But I know in Kenya, they also have their own platform in Kenya. Because I have a lot of people. My Kenyan people, I'm not left out in this one. Not just Nigeria and Kenya, but these are the two I know of in Africa. That okay, you can trade on their platform. Yeah, these are the two that I know of that you can trade on their platform. Trade agricultural commodity. I know what's the most important, the amazing part. I really don't understand why people not really trading on FS. Like, why are you not trading on that kind of platform? Because that money you are trading is going to a farmer. It's empowering the farmer. I mean, it's make a lot of sense to me. I don't trade on forex. I don't even like forex. I don't know how to trade on forex, right? Kudos, no offense to the guys who do it. I don't do trade. I don't do stock market, but I'm trying to learn stock market because I'm going to the investment space to really diversify my funds, so my money can keep working for me, right? So I'm trying to go do some work around trade stock market, trade around to learn how to trade on those platforms because there are also places where you trade them. But it makes a lot of sense to me to trade on food commodity platforms like AFS because that money is empowering a farmer. That farmer is getting, I mean, it's blessing the life of a farmer. But aside of that one, which is really not your concern, you get your own dividends. Your money is really because that place is really that sector is really regulated. It's highly regulated. Highly regulated. So guys, if I close today on this note, I've said something very important that can change your life. Trust me. Go and start trading there. Go and start learning how to trade on AFS. Like I've said, I'm maybe trying to we'll reach out to AFS, bring them to this platform, and ask them some key questions. Like, guys, how are you guys doing? How do we make money from your platform? How do we trade on your platform? Is it really difficult? But I don't think it's not difficult at all. I don't think it's difficult at all. So I promise you guys, I'll reach out to them. They are not aware of this one at all, but I'll reach out to them. Then, um, another thing you could also do again. This is like the second part. See, none of them I've talked about. Eh? The other one is not for you, especially if you don't have money. Crowdfunding. I've checked four things. Crowdfunding, I said one from that one. Is not is highly the risk is high and largely unregulated. Project finance, you can't do that because you are not big, you don't have money. The project finance would be for people like maybe Dangote, Obi Kubana. I mean, all those big boys. There's the one that have finance. A lot of, but now you have to do is a it's involve large fundings. Right, cooperatives. So for you, wherever you are, you can do cooperatives. You can look for cooperatives around you and join. If you are lucky, you can look for cooperatives around you and join. But for food commodity, it is easy. AFS is easy. AFS is spelled as A. I'm supposed to have showed you AFS logo. AFS is AFE Ox. I don't know if I can even put up their logos. Some of you can go look for them and see how you can trade on their platform. So these are easy. Project finance, I don't have money because that one is billions, millions or millions. But cooperatives, if you are lucky, you can have some cooperatives around you. I can't recommend any cooperative, but I know some good cooperatives way back in Nigeria that are doing pretty well. They've been there for like 10 years. Can go join them. It's safer. But food commodity is easy because the app, you can monitor it from your phone. Just get AFEX, AFEX, and start trading on their platform. They have different food commodities on their platform. That one, you don't need to go to farm. You don't need to go and look for any agriculture. You don't need to go and look for any you don't need to go and look for farmer to buy maize from. You don't need to go and look for Otoseto. They will do all the headache. You only need to trade with them. Pretty you. And remember I've said that Africa has a predictable season, demand and supply cycles. I know if I was going to trade on, I know the seasons where maize will do well. I will put in money because I understand the seasons. I know when it will do well. I know when it will not do well. You understand? You will make money out of it. I know when we need to do it. So this is I just to people. I know people are still reaching out to me how to go into farming. I say, how are you going to farming? I'm not discouraging people from farming, but over time, like John Obidi said, the farther you are for farming, so if you are able to close to it, the more money you are not making, the farther, the more money you make. Right. I'm not discouraging from farming, no. Farming is good. Me, I farm. I'm a farmer. People know me as the global farmer. I farm. Aha. But I'm just telling you the easiest way now. But then the fifth one is exports. Why are you not thinking of exports? Yes, let's talk. Why are you not thinking of exports? See, remember, I've established something that my lecturer or all in fact in most of the investment courses I've taken, I'm still on the journey. I'm still on the journey, and in this journey, I'm going to be teaching that because there's no way you can cut off agriculture. So most of all the investors, investment class are talking about agriculture, but just how you can go in and put in your money that people are not like an investor. Yeah. So now let's talk about exports. When you talk about export, first of all, you don't need to be involved in it as well. Invest. You are an investor. Remember, you are an investor. You are not an exporter. So your role is the finance and not exporting. So your role is to put in money. So there are enough people who do like an exports. So recently now, I was in a call with some guys. We are trying to import some vegetables to Nigeria. You know, so your role there is you're not an investor. Your role is you're an exporter. So your role is the finance. Your you finance the project. So there are guys who export. And let me tell you, there's opportunity in exporting. In exporting, do you know how many numbers of people we have in diaspora? Diaspora we have in Nigeria diaspora we have in the UK? Do you have any diaspora we have in Canada? Do you have any diaspora we have um in the US? They all need African food. You don't need to produce the food. That was a mistake I was making years ago. I was saying, no, I'm the farmer. I farm the food. I have the value. I've converted to cassava, flour, or I've converted to dry catfish. I want to be the one also doing the export. I was going to kill myself. And listen, so that one is another opportunity on its own. Oh. You can say, I want to do it as a business. And as a business, your own is to go and buy it. You don't need to package it at all. I didn't know this one at that time. You don't need to add value. You don't need to just buy the yam, raw yam, and export it. Buy the cassava and export it. Maybe we'll also do a class on export. Not today, but I'm not teaching on export. That one is for business. Remember, if you are involved in it, you're not an investor. It's not a business. We've established that one. You're an investor. Today's class is for an investor. You're an investor. This is not agri business. This is agri investment. That's what we are teaching today. Agri investment, how to invest in agri space, and not how to do agri as an agri business. It's two different things. Before we used to call it agriculture. The time now came when I started differentiating agriculture, that agriculture is different. That's the science and that's the art. But there is a business part of it, which is agri business. But what I'm teaching today is not even the agri business at all. I'm teaching the agri investment part. How you can come in, how you can put in money, how you can invest in it, and the money will be working for you. So those guys who will later train on how to export, if you know them, there are people, I know some of them, you can work with them. You put in finance, and they go and manage the entire work. They do the entire export, and then it's like some of them money like a forum, like a community. They do the export, then they give you your own return on investment from the profit. The one is that you finance the project, but then you must do your due diligence. You must do your due diligence. There's return in foreign exchange. There's return on there's return in foreign exchange, because this time it's in dollars or in pounds or in depending on Canada dollar or US dollars. These are good ways. You don't need to be involved. The guy wants to go and do the export. So for example, now I could say, oh, I'm going like me now. I'm doing some work around export. I've told you that we recently were having a question on I'm doing some work around import and export. I will bring in product and take out product, bring in product and take out product. Right. I mean, I'm building that space. So you can decide to invest in me, work with us and all that. But I might not even open that. If you know me for long in the agricultural space, people invest who have done business with me. I don't do class to invite them. I know how to reach out to my people. But that's one way you can look for people who want to export their produce and take part in it. And you remember you earn in foreign currency, But the however, it requires an understanding of an export process. Even though you are not the one involved at the export, you need to understand how the export process works. So that from day one, as I am, I've taken a lot of courses around exports and all that. So if I see somebody who is lying, I just know that this one, you don't know what you are saying. This one is a scam. So it's good you have understanding, you understand the export process, how it works. There are some things you need to check. There are export checklists that you need to check in the NEPC certificate. Does the person have any NEPC certificate? What's the export plan? What's the credible supply? Who is the credible supplier? Valid contractor from buyers with specs, quality of certifications, documentations like NSP, insurance, bill of lading, etc. You need to ask them those documentations to be sure that, because yeah, you're not involved, but you still need to have these, basic knowledge. Is the exports properly branded? Like the people who are doing it, are they properly branded? Do they have structure? Do they have website that you can go check them out? Are they grounded and solid on ground? Explore the value chains. You can explore the value chains. What are they exporting, right? You can become you can even help them get a supplier. You are not involved, but I mean, you can, if you have a link, you can assist them get a supplier. You can you know there are a lot of things you can do there. You can link the exporter to a credible supplier. You can link the exporter to a buyer. If you travel frequently, you can be the one attending expos all over the world. You become the representative of the exporter. That's on that when I teach on that export, these are other things you can make money out of. Like, okay, me, I travel a lot, and you can be representing. So my work is act as a middleman between the exporter and the supplier. Attend frequent events to connect them together. You can become the representative of the exporter. These are ways you can make money. You can make a cut or a commission from even buyer. You can make money from the buyer, because I'm not connecting this buyer to but I mean, for example, now I do a lot of trip traveling. So you can get a cut. You can even begin joining an export cooperatives. There's export cooperatives. But I think for you, if you the first place for you to start is go check https Nigeria America Chambers.org. Go check them out. Check https nnpc.gov.ng in Nigeria. For those in Nigeria, you can attend exposition, you can attend Agro Expo, you can attend Fashion Expo. Anyway, if you want to do it, you remember what I'm teaching you today is about investments. But you can attend Agro Expo, you can meet exporter cooperative at those events. Embassies events are also bring exporters together. Export cooperative also bring different aspects like finance, marketing, and that gives you so much strength. These are ways you can make money. Ah, these are ways you can make money from agriculture. These are ways you can make money from agriculture. I don't know, do we still continue today, or the information is already overloaded? I'm seeing your comments. You can there are you guys are saying I should not bring down the video. I will try to be on my YouTube. Um Another way you could also make money for the big guys is venture capital. There are a lot of venture capital coming into this space. Yeah, we are beginning to see a lot of venture capitalists coming into the space, agricultural venture capitalists. So you can look for any of these venture capital VC firm and invest with them. So they take your money, and they do the due diligence for you. They do everything, they ensure, but the risk is still there. Um, examine the business model and the funding cycles. They do those ones for you. Just ensure the funders and managers are credible and competent. Invest in what you understand. Invest in what you understand. Don't invest in what you don't know. Read the finance and the bank statement of the company before you invest in them. Read their business plan. Do a background check on the promoter. Assess the environment and the political factors. Define your role as an investor, either as an angel investor or a VC firm. Anyway, qualify the value of your contributions, document everything, and develop a solid contract with them. These are some things you just need to take note of if you are going to do venture fund. The venture fund is coming, it's really rising. I hope to run a VC firm that really invests in the architect space. Really, that's part of my plan. I hope to to have a VC firm that really invests in the agri space, that support agri businesses with fund, that support agri fund, agri-tech space with funds, you know. So please don't invest in an idea alone. Invest in a viable business. Businessmen, ideas may be good, but execution is matter. So look at the people who are executing. Next thing, you must have an exit plan from the VC firm if you are going to do VC firm. There's what we call in VC firm, there's what we call bridge funding. So for bridge funding, ensure you have a performance bond. Anyways, um, there are virtual investing platforms like VC4A.com, Future Africa is another one. Collective and there are lots. There are lots. You can go check them out. There are a lot of VC firms that invest in the agricultural space. You can look out for them and invest with them via those VC firms. They help you now manage your fundings and just tell them my fund. Obviously, first of all, look for a VC firm that VC firm that invest in the agricultural space. So I know of Sahara Capital. Sahara Capital. They invest in the agricultural space. You invest with them, do business with them. Sahara Capital, do business with them, invest with them. There are a lot of, just go online and you see it. Africa, just go on Google, Africa VC firm that invest in agriculture. You will see them putting your money with them and begin to get return on investment. I know it's also very risky because sometimes the business can go wrong. So the VC firm need to do their due diligence before they invest in them. I hope this has been helpful. I really do intend that this class ending for about 45 minutes. I didn't want it to get to 1 hour. I think we spent so much time today, but I hope you've learned something. I hope you've learned something today. Um, so before I go, I'll just take a quick recap of some of the things I've shared, like maybe 6 areas you can invest in the agricultural business without being involved in it. Number one, I've talked about crowdfunding. I said, but going from crowdfunding is largely unregulated. I don't encourage it at all. But yeah, project finance, it is what it is. So number two was project finance, but it's capital intensive, like I've mentioned. Number two is cooperative. You have to look for people, for a credible cooperative to be part of that focus on agriculture. Number four, I said food commodity. Look for platform like AFEX that you can trade with. And then that's number four. Number five, I talked about export. But in the export, I know the exporter, you're an investor, you finance the project. Right. And obviously, in terms of export, I need to touch about export again because there's a whole lot of massive value in export that people are not talking about. There's a lot of massive value in the export space that people are not talking about. Well, in other class, I'm going to dwell on that. But I've mentioned the export, as a finance. So export is like the fifth one. Then the sixth one was venture funding, VC firm that focus in agriculture. You can invest in them. Don't forget, you are an investor. You're not an agri business. You're not coming to the sector to run it as a business. You only just to put in your funds and your funds works for you and get your return. But these are credible way you can do it to get returns. I hope this has really been helpful. This note, I'm bringing the class to an end. Till I come your way again. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share this video to as many people that you know will benefit from this video. Share this video to as many people that you know will benefit from this video. And then I'll come back again till next week. Hopefully, we'll try our best to keep doing this as often as we can. I know I'm really, really busy, but I really want to dish out this knowledge. Till then, I'll see you all again. And then on my podcast, Architect Founders Diary, if you want me to feature you, if an architect founders listening to this, you want me to feature you, do want to reach me either on LinkedIn or Facebook. Then we'll see how we can bring you on the podcast as well. Thank you for today's session. I'll see you hopefully next week. Bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the notification button so that whenever I go live, you will know. Till then, bye for now.